Hello and welcome back everybody. Okay, today we're going to change a tuple into a list and a list into a tuple. But before we start, hit that subscribe button below. Do it now. Okay, thank you very much for doing that everybody. Right, let's start. So we're going to create a function called tuple to list. Right, and we're going to create my tuple, and we're going to populate the tuple with a few bits and pieces like names like Dave, Pete, and Joe. Okay, not my tuple, my tuple. Okay, there we go, that's better. Okay, now we're going to create my list. So this is the list. We're going to convert this tuple into this list called my list is equal, and we use the list object here, and then my tuple. Not tuple, tuple. Okay. The keys on this computer are very worn, so I'm having a few problems at the moment with them. Okay, so here we go. My list is equal to the list object and my tuple. So we're going to print my list, which is going to be this. Sorry. So we're going to print my list here, and just to make sure that we have converted it into a tuple, we're going to print type and my tuple. Okay, so that will give us the type. It will give us the data type. So we're going to call this tuple to list. Okay, so this is how we are going to call this. Let's just check out. Okay, let's save it. Let's run it. Okay, so we got Dave, Pete, Joe. Class is a tuple. Okay, so what went wrong there? Okay, whoops. That should have been my list. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so we've got Dave, Pete, Joe, and it's a list. So we've converted the tuple into a list. Okay, let's go on to our next one. So we're going to create a function here, and this is going to be called list to tuple. Okay, so my list, let's say it's going to be equal to, we're just going to create a list here, just some numbers, some random numbers, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so that's the list, and we're going to turn it into a tuple. So my tuple is equal to tuple, so this will create our tuple, and then my list. Okay, and then we're going to print my tuple. Okay, and then we're going to print the type, the data type, so we can see that it's being converted. my tuple. Okay, so let's just save that and let's call that, shall we? So list to tuple. Okay, so let's call that. Just save it and call it, and see what result we got. So the class is a tuple. That's very good. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. But before we do that, let me just call it again. Let me just let's call this one. Let's call them both together. So tuple to list. Okay, tuple to list. Let's have a look at it side by side. Run the module. There we go. So the class is a list here and the class is a tuple. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.